So the thing I remember most is finally building up enough courage to go to the doctor. After doing months and months of extensive research and finally finding something that I felt like could be the issue. So I was pretty much going to the doctor just to get confirmation and just to get treatment. After having symptoms for well over a year. And I just really remember having that doctor come back into my room and look me dead in my eyes and say to me, "Ms. Parks, I'm pretty sure that this is lupus." And I just really remember in that moment looking him back in his eyes and being like, "That is lupus, bro." My name is Adreka Parks, and in September 2014, I was diagnosed with discoid lupus and systemic lupus erythematosus. But I don't get tired.
God, stop lying.
Alright, I be tired. Like, I be real tired. I be super tired, bro. Whatever.
I go harder, 'cause I done been knocked down again. But what don't kill me, that make me stronger. Stronger, that make me stronger. Stronger, I gotta live. And ain't no way I'm going back to my bed. I know you live in me and that make me stronger. Stronger, that make me stronger. Stronger.
Alright, so here's my definition of lupus. Lupus is this autoimmune disease, which means that my immune system is overactive and zealous, kind of like myself, and just wants to do too much and just sometimes messes things up. So instead of my immune system just attacking off bad things, it goes and attacks good things like healthy tissues and healthy organs and my skin and things like that. Some of my symptoms have been extreme fatigue, sensitivity to sunlight, anemia, fevers, chills, memory loss. They call those the lupus fogs. Hair loss, not just from the head, but in places like eyebrows and eyelashes are thin and they just don't grow back. Some extreme joint pain and muscle pain. Sometimes make it hard to do everyday activities like to get up, to stand up, to open cans, and to knock on doors and to hold things. So it ranges day to day. Initially, I was kind of emotionless. I didn't know how to feel. I knew how I was supposed to feel, but I didn't feel that way. I had this idea of how I wanted to feel, but I didn't really feel that way. So it was just a weird time emotionally. I would go into depressions. I would have random breakdowns. And then finally, I just thank God so much for the people He's placed in my life, my family and friends and the people around me. The thing I find the most rest and the most hope in is in the fact that lupus is only limited to the mortal parts of me. But lupus kind of strengthens the parts of me that are eternal. Lupus cannot affect my spirit, lupus cannot attack my soul, but my spirit actually attacks lupus. So I just find so much joy in the fact that it's so limited, and I just realized that death is not the worst thing that can happen. It's a beast when it's a beast, but it has its way of bringing this new reality, and I'm thankful for that. I remember before being diagnosed, just having these symptoms and feeling so bad some nights that I would literally write notes to all of my family and friends, and I'll put it on my headboard before I went to sleep just in case I didn't make it to the next morning. So being in a place like that kind of makes you grateful for every single day that you wake up. And that's a blessing, and that's actually a gift and not an obligation. So lupus has its way of strengthening us in areas of spirituality and seeing God for who He is and not who we've made it. So I would have never admitted it then, but my hair was definitely my crowning glory. I remember even telling somebody one day that my hair kind of determines what my mood would be like. If my hair is looking good, oh, okay, I'm feeling myself, I'm looking good, I'm feeling good. But if my hair was messed up, you know, I had an attitude with everybody, you know, down in the dumps for that day. So like I said, I would have never admitted it, but my hair was definitely my crowning glory. And so when that was taken away from me, you know, even being a multi-sport athlete in high school and going on to be a collegiate basketball player, so my physical abilities and my hair was definitely my crowning glories of my life. So when that was taken away from me, I had to find a new crown And so that's when the Lord led me to 1 Peter 5:4, which talks about how when the Lord, who is the great shepherd, returns back to us, he'll give us a crown of glory that'll never fade away. So our crown and glory is the things we make of our lives, the things, our prized possessions of this life. We make those things, but they can be taken away also by life or by Christ or whoever, or whatever circumstances. But that crown of glory that the Lord promises us in 1 Peter 5:4 is permanent and it's eternal. And so now I put my hope in that crown of glory, and I have had a great anticipation here in this waiting room called Earth to finally receive my crown. So I'm in preparation right now for that crown. And I just feel like now, even without my hair and even without a basketball in my hand, I got my crown. So what Crown of Glory is, it's a project founded by my family and I. When I first got diagnosed, I just remember we didn't know anything about lupus. We were so clueless. And so we began to research. And as I began to research, I just remember not finding many, if any, organizations or groups that were dedicated solely to the people who are suffering from chronic illnesses. So now I have a huge heart for the warriors, man. The people who have to wake up every single day and go straight into battle mode, whether you feel like it or not. And it's not always easy. And our initial reaction is not always to fight or to be strong or to be courageous or even to be happy. So I wanted to be someone who was a part of something that could be the reason somebody chose to fight for that day, or to be the reason somebody found joy for that day, or to even be the reason somebody saw Christ and his love, who experienced that. So it is definitely a joy for me to be a part of something greater than I am, and a part of something that I'm affected by personally. So when things happen in life that causes us to lose our earthly prized possessions, our crown and glories that we've made, it kind of forces us to see the importance of storing our treasures in heaven and to look more to heavenly things versus the things here on earth that are mortal and are forever fleeting. So Christ defeated the grave over 2,000 years ago, which means that death is defeated, which means I don't have to be afraid of death, which means that I'm undefeated. Wow, that's heavy. I got my crown.